information today, and then at the end of the presentation, I will present to you just a quick bit of information about the special offer that the Gold and Silver Club have arranged for people who attend the webinar to try out the MetaStock products. So with that in mind, I'm anxious to hear this information, and we'll turn the time over to Phil for their presentation.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much for that introduction, Derek. So good evening, everybody. Welcome to this evening's webinar, How to Trade and Profit from Gold, Silver and Oil by Trading News-Driven Events. Okay, so first of all, today we'll actually be revealing a simple 5-step system used by ourselves and many other professional traders to profit from gold, silver and oil by trading news-driven events. So first off, on Friday the 1st of June, just over a week ago, gold price actually shot up by a staggering 62 points, literally within the space of a few hours. Gold actually jumped from $1,560 an ounce right up to $1,630 in response to weaker than expected US labor statistics or non-farm payroll. And it was actually gold's biggest one-day move in a whole year. It's a move, the largest move since August 2011. And again, even last week on Thursday the 7th of June, gold price dropped 70 points. The opposite direction literally happened within the space, again, of a few hours, and gold dropped from $1,629 an ounce to $1,559. And this was as the Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke appeared before Congress. And here is what happened. So we can see a complete reversal. So that's a quick screenshot of two very volatile trades recently. These are just examples, guys, for news-driven events used by ourselves and many other professional traders to profit from gold, silver and oil. So before we start, who is this workshop for? Well, do any of these apply to you? Are you interested in day trading opportunities at the best entry prices? Do you want to discover a proven system of making large sums of money in very little time with very little risk? Would you like to receive the exact same data and the exact same time as institutions do? Have you tried trading the news before perhaps but been discouraged by your results? Or do you just want to make more money? So if you'd answered yes to any of these questions, this training is definitely for you this evening. So first off, my name is Phil Carr. I'm a professional trader, trainer and speaker. I'm also the co-founder of the Gold and director of the Gold and Silver Club, and I specialize in teaching people how to make money from trading the biggest financial markets in the world with commodities, gold, silver and oil. I've trained hundreds of individuals to become independent traders and successfully manage their own portfolio. I'm also responsible for the research and development of Gold and Silver Club's trademark strategies, which have a proven track record of generating returns for traders. And I speak at numerous trading seminars and workshops, and I share my expert knowledge with investors who have a similar passion for trading gold, silver and oil, just as everybody on this webinar this evening. And this is Nik Kalsi, who's also joining me on the call this evening, who will be helping answer any of your questions alongside myself. Nik is a professional investor, trader and speaker. He has over 5 years experience of coaching professional fund managers and traders internationally for some of the world's top tier hedge funds and investment banks. And it's through his first-hand relationships with some of the world's most successful traders that Nik's discovered the formula, mindset and tools that can give any individual the definitive edge to make money in any economy. He's also been investing in the financial market since 2002, and is an expert on building a well-diversified investment portfolio, and also regularly writes for a number of global business and financial publications. That's just a little bit about myself and Nik, just so you know who we are. This is the Gold and Silver Club. This is some of our events that we've done. You can see our workshops, some of our seminars. This is us in the press, so this is in the Arabian, this is recent press this year in the South African, and in International Life, where we did a big story on investing and trading in gold and silver. And this is just a couple of success stories. So this is Peter, who's making consistent monthly returns trading gold, silver off news-driven events using the exact steps that we're going to talk you through this evening. And here is Sammy, who's making consistent returns trading non-farm payroll, Federal Reserve and Eurozone announcements. So first of all, how to profit from gold, silver and oil by news-driven events. Okay, the reason why we trade commodities is gold, silver and oil has, to be honest, made us the most money in the fastest time. Commodities provide daily trading opportunities. It's simple to trade commodities off major news announcements, and if traded on a spread betting or fixed odd platform, the profits you make are 100% tax-free. So quickly, gold, silver and oil trading hours. So the market opens at 11 p.m. on a Sunday. It closes 9 p.m. on a Friday. So what's great about these markets is that there are 23-hour markets. They only close for 1 hour every day between 10 and 11 o'clock. Actually, that's UK time that they close. They only close for 1 hour a day. The rest of the time, there are frequent trading opportunities. So the benefits of a 23-hour market mean there are really regular trading opportunities. So again, UK time at 8 o'clock in the morning, the UK market opens. At 2:30 is when the US market opens. 9 o'clock in the evening, the US market closes, and 11 o'clock at night, Australia opens. And there are several different opening and closing times throughout that 23-hour period of world markets. So what you need to know, what examples of news-driven events and how these impact the markets. Okay, so you might be thinking, no, some of you are more advanced traders, some of you are beginners, the importance of news. Why do you need to know about major news affecting the markets? Well, it's not enough just to know about technical analysis when you trade, especially in these volatile markets at the moment. It's just as important to know what makes the market move. So if you can imagine that you knew exactly when Ben Bernanke was about to speak before Congress, or which direction the market was moving minutes after non-farm payroll statistics were announced, you could literally use that knowledge to profit regardless of whether the market was about to move up or down. Timing is everything with these trades. So the quicker you can get the news, the better it is for your trading. So when are news releases issued? Well, here's a list of the approximate times Eastern Standard Time when the most important economic releases for each of the following countries are published. These are also the times you should be paying extra attention to the markets if you plan on trading the news. So first off, in the US, you get a lot of news announcements occurring between 8:30 and 10 o'clock in the morning. With Japan, you will have these occur in America between 6:50 and 11:30 at night. With Canada between 7 and 8:30 in the morning. With the UK between 2 and 4:30. Italy 3:45 to 5 o'clock. Germany 2 o'clock till 6 o'clock. France 2:45 through to 4 o'clock. Switzerland 1:45 to 5:30. New Zealand 4:45 to 9, and Australia 5:30 to 7:30. Those are times of day where major economic news is often released by country. So what are the key news releases you need to pay particular attention to? Okay, well, major economic data releases that are most traded are the following. You don't need to know about every single piece of news which is coming out, but the most market moving news is US non-farm payroll, which we'll be going into a little bit more detail in this webinar. Interest rates, inflation, GDP, gross domestic product, trade balance, the Fed interventions when Ben Bernanke appears before Congress, and the Eurozone. So whenever we have significant news coming out of the Eurozone. So with Fed interventions, essentially when Ben Bernanke, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, speaks, there is always speculation that he will mention another round of printing or quantitative easing. You may have seen this in the press, or you see this on various news feeds, but whenever Ben Bernanke is about to speak, there are three typical outcomes. Number one is that by QE, I mean quantitative easing, money printing, money creation. So QE3 is mentioned. If it's mentioned at all when Ben Bernanke testifies, when he's speaking, you will see a rise in commodities. Typically, you'll see gold, silver. They will get a very big push up, and the US dollar will weaken on any talk of quantitative easing. If the Federal Reserve is ambiguous and neither confirms or denies, you generally don't see too much movement if it's very ambiguous statement. And if the Fed states no QE3, i.e. there's not going to be additional money printing, you often see commodities fall. And we saw this last week fairly quickly, and the US dollar gained strength. So here is the importance of really knowing the Federal Reserve and the timing of that. So this is taking a chart of gold. Again, we're going to go into more detail on some of the specifics of these trades, but this is a yearly chart. This is going back to 2009, and this is in daily time frames. And you'll see there right at the beginning of January 2009, when QE1 started, was when gold really started to build some momentum. At the time, we were about $900 an ounce. At that point in time, we're actually at the moment at $1,619 an ounce. So that was at the beginning of 2009, and that sparked a rally. The next time the Federal Reserve announced quantitative easing, that was in August 2010, and they again were a major catalyst for another rally in gold. In fact, it carried on rallying all the way up to our high last year when we got up to $1,920 or thereabouts. And then in September last year, the trade changed very much. So at that up until that time, it was very much every time the Federal Reserve were speaking or doing announcements, you would typically see gold, silver and other commodities rally during that period of time. However, September 2011, Operation Twist was put into action, and this is when we saw the price of commodities fall very quickly, actually. And since then, the Federal Reserve has the last major statements that they've given, which were towards the end of February, which saw a massive drop in the price of gold, and then even last week, where both times they've indicated no QE, gold has sold off a lot. So it's important, if you're trading gold, silver, oil, to be able to know when the Federal Reserve is going to be speaking. And here are some examples. So here is actually an example of Fed Operation Twist, and this was in September 2011, and this was a big move. If you look here, silver actually dropped 700 points in 24 hours. It was a very large move. So what we're just showing there is this is a daily time frame. You can see the price of silver dropping there, and where we've pointed just to the yellow arrows, that was a point where we got in on this particular trade. This is off a major Fibonacci level, which has been broken there, as well as some other indicators that we use. But you can see exactly the point where we would have got into that trade, been able to short the market, and it's followed right the way through to it's done a 700 point move all the way down in 24 hours. It was a very large move, and I'm sure you would agree it would have been good to get on the right side of that, given that the news which came out. Here's another example of a Fed announcement at the end of February 2012. This was actually gold's biggest one-day drop. We dropped 100 points in such a short period of time, in just 30 minutes. Again, you can see here we've just you've got the Fibonacci levels as one of the indicators that we've used to right after the news has occurred. We've seen that's been broken, and we've carried all the way through. We've followed through to the next Fibonacci level down. We've actually ended up over 100 points that the price dropped in a very short period of time, and being able to ride that sort of a trade was fantastic in such a short period of time. Again, if you weren't aware that the Federal Reserve were speaking that afternoon, you might have tried to catch a falling knife and get into a trade at some lower prices for the trade just to keep on going down. And in fact, that was the onset of a trend which continued to go down right into May after that particular drop in price. So you can see how important it is to know about various announcements that come up, especially as they relate to the commodities market. And lastly, here's another example of last week, actually, when there was a Federal Reserve announcement at 3 p.m. Now, we saw a lot of speculation coming out that there would be potentially quantitative easing, and you saw the market started to have a little bit of a rally in the earlier part of the week in anticipation of this. However, as you can see there, again, we've used fairly, you can just see it fairly clearly just for demonstration purposes. As soon as the information came out from the market, or as soon as Bernanke started to hint that no additional monetary stimulus would be used at this point in time, there was a disappointment in the market, and you can see where the price, we've basically broken through a key level of price action there, where you've got the first yellow arrow, and the price has just dropped right down. Again, in 90 minutes, the price dropped by 50 points, and then the price has started to settle on another Fibonacci level there, as the price is starting to consolidate again after such a big drop. But you can see how trading these announcements can be very profitable, and you can trade those if you're quick and you're getting the data through real time, that you'll be able to take advantage of these trades. Non-farm payroll announcements. Okay, the non-farm payroll report is released at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the first Friday of every month. And typical outcomes are, this isn't guaranteed, but this is typically what we see. We would still want to make sure and cross-reference with our charting that this is corresponding to our chart. But US employment data is weak. You tend to see commodities rally, the US dollar weaken. And likewise, if employment data is strong, you will see commodities tend to fall and the US dollar gains strength. Typically, that is what we see during a non-farm payroll announcement. So here's an example, non-farm payroll announcement, 4th of May, where we've actually had a very quick move. You can see there that gold, this was a smaller move, but nevertheless very quick. This was just within 30 minutes, we had a 20-point move as soon as the news was announced for non-farm payroll. So we very quickly, once we had the data through, were able to jump on this particular trade and take advantage of a 20-point move. Here's the same likewise with silver. Silver moved just slightly more, so we saw silver move 40 points in just 30 minutes on the back of a non-farm payroll announcement on the 4th of May. And here's that first move we alluded to at the beginning of the webinar. So this was on Friday the 1st of June. And this is gold moving up 50 points in just 1 hour from the time that the non-farm payroll was actually released. Very bad data came out for the US job market, and gold actually absolutely took off from that. So we were able to catch that trade. There were several indicators we used which all lined up for us, enabling us to take that particular trade. We don't have time to go into massive detail on that. For those who are more technical or technically minded, what you'll see on there is that essentially our indicators all lined up when we were round about. You'll see lower down there on the actual chart, you've got 2 entry points. You've got a Fibonacci level, which you can see we've cleanly cut through that towards the upper side of that price, so around about 1585, and we actually continued to rally all the way through to 1630, but there was also an entry point much lower down around 1555 that you'll see several indicators lined up for us to take that trade for. Literally, you've got the blue arrow going all the way up there. So that was a very large move that we capitalized on the 1st of June with non-farm payroll, but this is very much an example of the sort of very big volatility moves you can get by trading the news and having the data there. And we're going to do some examples of how you can use this, the news feeds, to be able to profit from these trades. And of course, particularly relevant at the moment, Eurozone announcements. So these include updates on European economies, so Euro USD value, politics, local elections, European Union meetings, financial and trade news. So a typical outcome is if there's signs of instability, you will see investors panic and start to liquidate assets, pull money out of local economy. So generally you will see the price will go down in global financial markets. Here is a great example in June. Spain was actually downgraded. We had this, I remember when we actually had this news coming right through, we were able to act on that very quickly. We saw the price of gold dropping. Again, there we had two levels of entry on that, but you can see kind of faintly there, but we've got a Fibonacci level, which is basically, I don't know if you can see my arrow on the webinar, but right underneath the red line is when we've basically triggered, and we've managed to catch a 30-point drop in gold in just 1 hour, and very quick duration of time. And here we've got silver is even more dramatic. When Spain was downgraded, so we quickly dropped again 50 points in just 2 hours on silver. So you can see again how getting this information through real time, seeing the price starting to go down, we've just followed through. We've had a lot of traders liquidate their position, and you've very quickly stop loss has been hit, and we've basically the price has fallen quickly for us to take advantage of. And also crude oil inventories. So this is actually something you can take advantage of on a weekly basis. So the crude oil inventory announcement in GMT, it's 3:30 p.m. GMT every Wednesday, and this is crude oil trading relies heavily on supply and demand. You still need to give it 5 to 10 minutes before actually getting into this particular trade to get the outcome of the direction. But typically what you will see if the supply is low, crude oil prices will rally, and if the supply is high, crude oil prices will drop. Often you will see the price whipsawing initially, and then it will pick a direction. So here's a very good example. You can see this is actually from May. This was a weekly trade that we did where the price very quickly, it spiked initially, and then in very short succession the price dropped by 100 points in just 30 minutes. And this is a trade actually you can do every single week. You can be trading crude oil 3:30 p.m. You'll be having the real-time news coming through. You'll be able to move very quickly to catch these trades with oil. So you can really see with these examples, timing is everything. The significance of timing when day trading news-driven events is paramount. So especially as a window of opportunity to make money literally sometimes can be as little as 30 minutes. So if you get that wrong, you can miss out on a lot of profit. So it's important to have the real-time news feeds coming through, the data coming through very quickly. Which brings us on to Quote Center. So first of all, guys, front page within Quote Center. This is, I know a lot of you are familiar with Quote Center already. Quote Center, it's designed, the front page, to receive categorized real-time news and announcements focused exclusively on the markets that you trade. So an example here, the red tabs at the top there, they go direct to various live markets. So in the example here, myself and Nik and our gold and silver community would be looking at commodities and energies. That's where our interest would be. So you can see there on the tabs that there is a tab for commodities and energies. However, you've got a whole range of tabs there, be it foreign exchange, fixed income, whatever area that you are trading. But we're looking at commodities and energies. And as you can see there, the front page basically is giving us the front page news. So these are the main headlines which are coming out. We can get a lot more detail than this, but these are the biggest news items which are coming out. So what we would do, Market Watch, within that actually enables us to have real-time news feed. So we simply click on any headline in the news feed to get an instant real-time update direct from Reuters. So you can see there all the different headlines coming through as they relate to commodities. For example, on this one, if we were to click on top news for energy, so here we've got all the real-time news coming through, and we would just simply click on the one we're interested in learning more about. and we would get instant real-time update on the story direct from Reuters. So here we've got oil falls 3% on Euro worry. So we could immediately go into that, pick up the relevant news we needed, and then use that for our trading. So here's another example. So we've got gold up, but off highs as Spanish aids they disappoint. So as soon as this news is coming through, we can click on it. We can find out exactly. This was very useful just a week or so ago, a week and a half ago, when we had the Spanish downgrade, to get this news coming through immediately in order to set ourselves up for a trade for that. So you can see instantly how it can apply for your trading. And you can have a customized workspace. So essentially you will have a real-time news coming through. We've just set ours up for an example here. You've got your real-time news, which is on the left-hand side, your market analysis, your live charts to the right there, and your pricing to the top left, which we've got just gold, silver, and oil. So everything we need is in that customized workspace. So you can put the exact charts that we're interested in looking at. We've got the news feeds coming through. We've got our price action. We really can see exactly what's going on, as just exactly how the institutions would be looking to take these trades on as well. So it's a very powerful tool that you can use for your trading. So here we've got our live spot prices. So here we've got gold, silver, and oil. And here's our live charts, again on our customized workspace. So we've got the live price. We can see exactly what's going on in the charts. We can get into smaller time frames on that. We're scaled out to a daily. You can zoom in to 30 minutes, 4 hours, whatever time frames we're looking to get into. And here again, here's an example of our workspace here. So this is our charting on the right, and you can see where we've actually got the instant news coming through. So to make it very clear for everybody on the webinar, so the Gold and Silver Club 5-step system, how we would actually use Quote Center to trade news-driven events. So you've seen quite a few examples there of major news such as the Federal Reserve, Nonfarm Payroll, Eurozone. This can be used with any major news announcements. This 5-step system is how you can benefit massively from Quote Center to trade these news-driven events. So just using non-farm payroll as an example. So first of all, step 1. Simply we would log on to Quote Center before 8:30 EST on the first Friday of every month. This is loading our front page and awaiting the non-farm payroll announcement release. So this is specifically an example of trading non-farm payroll. Step 2. We would get the non-farm payroll data release exactly 8:30 from the Market Watch news feed. You see that coming through. We would open and review the data. This is exactly as it would come through. We can also download the full report with details of non-farm payroll statistics if required, so we can get all the information that we require in order to make our trade. So we get all that information all on the same workspace. And here is the exact details of the report in full detail that we can read through. Step 3, we use the real-time data on Workspace and our own technical indicators. We would be monitoring gold, silver and oil for their reaction 5 to 10 minutes into the trade, into the news coming out, using our indicators, using price action and using our indicators to get an idea of which way the market is about to break out. If it's a significant news event such as non-farm payroll, or if it's for example Eurozone with the Spanish downgrade, or if we're getting a Federal Reserve announcement or any of the other announcements which come out, we are very interested in where the market's going to move within the 5 to 10 minutes right after this data has come out, and using our indicators we're able to take those trades real time based on the news that we've just got through, and we can catch which way the direction of the market is moving, often for a very profitable trade. So step 4, we use the real-time data and our technical analysis. We select the best entry point to execute our trade. And step 5, by keeping track of the real-time data on Workspace, so as the news is still coming through, and our own technical indicators, so we know what we're aiming for in terms of an exit on that particular trade, we can select the most profitable point to exit the trade as well. So remember, sometimes we'll be in and out of a trade within less than half an hour. Other times we can really ride the trade for up to 24 hours afterwards, sometimes longer depending on the extent of the trade. For example, when we had the Operation Twist last year, silver dropped 700 points in 24 hours. It was a trade that you could just follow as you were moving your stop loss to lock in your profits. So that is step 5. Okay, so to recap, again, this can be used for any sort of announcement. So the example we gave here was for non-farm payroll. So step 1, we log on to Quote Center before 8:30 a.m. EST on the first Friday of every month. So this is every month, this is a regular trading opportunity. We load front page and we await for non-farm payroll announcement release for the data to come through. Step 2, we get non-farm payroll data release at 8:30 from MarketWatch newsfeed. We open and review the data. Step 3, using the real-time data on Workspace and our own technical indicators, we monitor gold, silver and oil's reaction for 5 to 10 minutes to get an idea which direction the market is moving. If we break significant price action or we are triggered into our trade based on our indicators, it's typically 5 to 10 minutes once the volatility is settled and we're picking a direction for the market which it's tending to move, and the volumes will start to pick up. Step 4, using real-time data and technical analysis, we select the very best entry point and execute the trade. And finally, step 5, by keeping track of the real-time data on Workspace and our own technical indicators, we then select the most profitable point to exit the trade. So that's very clearly 5 very straightforward steps. Okay, so to recap, receiving non-farm payroll data as an example via Quote Center's live market news. Why is it an advantage? It's an advantage because you get accurate news and analysis on which the direction of the market is moving in real time. This is very important. It's in real time, the same sort of data as major institutions get, not the delayed data you might get on other websites. It's real time, very important. You get into the trades at the best entry prices. You receive the exact same data at the exact same time as the institutional traders. You know exactly when to exit the trade so you don't lose any of your profit. You get the edge to make more money on every trade you make. You're never missing a profitable trading opportunity. You have all the news coming through. You're not going to suddenly look at your screen and wonder why the price has dropped massively or gone up massively. You'll know why, because you have the news feeds coming through. And it's the most powerful real-time tool for day trading. So that is the 5-step system that we have created for everybody on this webinar this evening. We'll be going into a few more details and a few more questions now. So actually we're going to open that up now with Derek and Nick on the line to any questions anybody may have. So actually I'll just pass over to Nick at the moment, who might want to just add some additional summary there and some benefits and any other questions that we might have had come through. So Nick, welcome on, Nick.
Thank you, Phil. Yeah, I was just going to say the 5-step system which Phil has just shared with you, that can easily be applied to any news announcement. Phil gave there's a list he worked through. There's obviously NFP, there's Fed announcements, we've got inflation, GDP. We have roughly about, I think, 16 announcements per month. So if you are day trading, you have multiple trading opportunities on the commodities market, or if there's any other markets you trade, for example, Forex or even equities. These news announcements can also be used on those markets as well. And again, it's that simple 5-step formula that we use. So we just log on to Workspace and we just wait for the announcement to come through. Once it does, we just get it through MarketWatch. We just open it up. Well, step three is just we wait 5 to 10 minutes, get an idea of which way the market is about to move. Then we'll go use the real-time data and also our technical indicators to go place a trade. Then after that, step five is looking for the perfect opportunity to exit the trade with all our profit without losing the profit. In many cases, that could be 30 minutes. There's even been trades we've taken where we've made a huge amount of money in less than 10 minutes. It can be very, very fast. On other occasions, trades could last up to 24 hours. But if you know which way the market is about to move, you can really capitalize and you can really take advantage of the full move. So that's just those 5 steps. If anyone has any questions on those or would like us to provide a bit more detail, then please feel free to fire away.
Yeah, absolutely. So if we do have any questions, we're more than happy to answer those. I think some questions that have come through just with regard to perhaps some of the technical of what we're using with our strategies. So our signature gold, silver and oil trading strategies, they include the following. So these are what we are teaching our community and what we trade ourselves. So we've got a crossover strategy which we utilize, a day trading strategy, monthly cycles and a breakout strategy to trade gold, silver and oil. Now of course these are more advanced and you would need to go through a training to actually learn these inside and out, but we've promised to, just as part of this webinar, just to let everybody know, if they would like to find out more information on the specific technical indicators and more detail on the strategies and the training and support programs we have available. For more information on our signature gold, silver and oil strategies and upcoming workshop dates, we've got those online and in person. So we have both of those delivered online for those who prefer to, for those who are in America of course, or wherever you are in the world, we're able to do those trainings, and in person as well. So to contact us about those, please just get in touch with us at office@thegoldandsilverclub.com. Email is just on the screen there, and or telephone us directly. Feel free to telephone our office on 0207 193 0403. So that's 0207 193 0403. So that's to find out more information about our upcoming workshops and our strategies. And also, of course, as a thank you for joining us today on this very special webinar, we are opening up an offer to everybody on the webinar to have Quote Center and MetaStock Pro 3 months for the price of one. So we've been showcasing, going through what you can really do with Quote Center MetaStock Pro. So Quote Center is access to real-time data, news and analysis feed, and MetaStock Pro is charting and technical analysis software. So that is actually being the special offer is that you will get 3 months for the price of one. So where that would be costing you normally $235 a month, you would actually just have one installment of $235 or £150, and you would actually have 3 months worth of access. So to do that and take advantage of this very kind of special webinar offer, you can simply go to www.metastock.com/gold and silver 2, and you'll see more information about that and how you can get signed up and start using this fantastic tool for your trading.
Phil, just had a question come in. Someone, a few people just logged in a little bit late. Just for the people who logged on late, the presentation that will be available after the webinar. We'll send out a recording. But what I'll get Phil to do is, just for some of the people that missed those 5 steps, I'll get Phil to just quickly recap the 5-step formula for trading news-driven events on Quote Center. So Phil, if you don't mind, do you want to quickly just do a quick summary of that for the people who missed it?
Yep, sure, no problem at all. Okay, so guys, for those who came on a little bit late into the webinar, we'll just quickly recap these steps for you. So this is an example. You can actually use these steps for trading any announcement. Doesn't have to be non-farm payroll, can be the Federal Reserve, oil inventories, non-farm payroll, any Eurozone breaking news which comes out. So this is exactly how we would use Quote Center and MetaStock to do this. So first of all, step one, we would log on to Quote Center just before the news has come on in the example of non-farm payroll. So 8:30 a.m. So you have a lot of scheduled news which you have already that you know about. For example, non-farm payroll is scheduled every month, oil inventories every Wednesday at 3:30 and so forth. So you would log on right before the news is due to come out, load front page and await the non-farm payroll announcement release. Okay? Step number two. We would get non-farm payroll data release at 8:30 on the dot from MarketWatch newsfeed that comes through. We'd open that and we would review the data. Step 3. Using the real-time data and workspace and our own technical indicators, we then monitor gold, silver and oil's reaction for 5 to 10 minutes to get an idea of the exact direction the market is moving. Step 4. Using the real-time data and our technical analysis, we select the very best entry point to execute the trade and capitalize on the move which is about to take place. Step 5. By keeping track of the real-time data, so whilst we're in the trade, we're getting the real-time data coming through on our workspace and using our own technical indicators, we would select the most profitable point to exit the trade. And those are the 5 steps we are using. Again, just to recap on the advantages there. So essentially, the reason this is very powerful is that you get accurate news analysis and which direction the market is moving in real time. Very important. So you can get into the trades at the very best entry price. You receive the exact same data as institutional traders who only have access to this. Only sort of banking and institution would have access to the same information that you're able to get. So you know exactly when to exit the trades using your technical analysis and the real-time news which is coming through. So you have essentially the edge and be able to make more money on every trade you make. You won't miss a profitable trading opportunity because you are getting the real-time data coming through. You'll see when big market moves are occurring, big events which affect the commodities market, the whole markets in general. And it's the most powerful real-time tool available for day trading. And I mean, just to recap for some of you I know who've asked a little bit more, so just the Gold and Silver Club, our signature strategies we're teaching would be crossover, day trade, monthly cycles, and breakout. And for more information on those, we don't have time to go into those in real detail right now. So if you would like more information on our strategies, more than happy to talk to you, or we can provide you with some information. Just please get in touch with us if that's something you'd like more information of, at office@thegoldensilverclub.com. So just simply email us at...
Gentlemen, this is
yes,
Derek.
hi there, Derek.
This is Derek with MetaStock. If you can keep that slide up, if everyone can make sure to jot down contact information for Phil and Nik. And then in just a moment, I will pull up a slide with my contact information as well. If you have specific MetaStock or Quote Center, how to or can it do this type questions, Phil and Nik did arrange that excellent 3 months for the price of one offer for MetaStock and Quote Center. If you are interested in just the Quote Center side of that as well, we'll certainly honor that. So Quote Center by itself without the MetaStock technical analysis software is $135 per month, and your offer would be $135 US dollars for 3 months. And you can take advantage of that offer by contacting me directly or calling our sales team and mentioning the Gold and Silver Club. They'll be happy to honor those offers as well. And if you don't mind, Phil and Nik, may I pull up a separate slide real quick so I can have my contact information as well?
Absolutely.
Okay, real quickly, that's actually a live quote center right there. You can see the news moving and the price movements there. Here is my contact information. Feel free to contact me directly by phone or email. I'll be happy to return your contact, your call. If you have questions about the product or you want to take advantage of an offer other than the one they have, we'll make sure to get the best deal available to you via the Gold and Silver Club. If you'd like a recording, a copy to the link to the recording, contact me by phone or email. I'll be happy to send that out to you as well. Looks like we've already had a couple people sharing their email. I will make note of that as well. And so you know, there's also excellent support for the product. If the product seems a little overwhelming at first, we've got a lot of recorded training, live training, all complimentary to help you sort your way through. So for instance, if you want to set up your own custom workspace, as Phil demonstrated, we will help you do that. You tell us what you'd like to see, what information you want. Our support team will walk you through every step of the way, setting up your quote center or MetaStock just the way you want it to get the information that you're looking for. So if you'll just go ahead and jot down my information as well, or feel free to contact anyone at MetaStock by going to our website, calling, emailing, chatting with them, and they will honor any of the offers that the Gold and Silver Club has made, as long as you mention the Gold and Silver Club webinar.